I just wanted to preface this before we started on this video. I didn't mention it in the actual video, so I'm recording this afterwards, but I'm saying it up front. Be aware that we're doing some coding here and we're merging kits. It's going to crash your project, be prone to crash your project, and I am not an expert in any way. So, without any other notice, please be sure to back up your project. Always have a copy. Make a copy, make a copy. Because there's more than likely it's going to crash, because I've crashed mine no less than a billion times already. So this is not going to be a complete integration of the kit in this video. This is just the first part where I'm integrating the kit, the advanced social system into the MMO kit. And then after that we'll start doing some more work on it, but that's all this first part of the video is. But be aware that it could crash your system. If you have problems, I will try to help you if I can, but you may have to start over, so keep a good copy. Alright, so with that warning out of the way, let's get started. Hi guys, Nemo Dane here from Silent Ox Studios. Today we're going to take a look at the advanced social system. We're going to try to see what we can do to get this integrated. This is going to be heavy duty for me, so it's all new. We'll have to learn as we go. I have purchased this up on the marketplace, so if those of you who are interested, I'll leave you a link in the video below. What we're going to do is we're going to integrate this with the MMO kit. Alright, so we can just move this out of the way. Basically what I've done is I went ahead and installed in just a blank version, nothing in it, just the social kit itself. That way we can test it to make sure it runs. I've already tested it and followed his example in the video. Does everything, so we know it is a working system, and this is with version 4.11.2. Now that we know it's working, which I've already tested, we won't have to look through that. What we're going to do is we're going to export that into our project where we're going to be working. As you just saw a few minutes ago, I've made a new project folders where I'm working. I've made one just for this. I've called it Advanced Social System Merge. You can call it what you want. This is nothing but the base kit itself, nothing in it, and we're going to merge the advanced social system into it and then set it up. Alright, so go ahead and let's click this, or I say merge, but it's migrate. We will migrate, and there's everything. Alright, I have to find my kits, new projects, and social system, and always content folder. We're going to say OK. So it's just successful. So we got a successful. Everything's been ported over. Alright, we know we're done with that. We can just close that out. Reduce that down. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go over into our project, the one I was just talking about. I've already have it loaded, but we're going to go down inside of that. So let's open it up. And there we see it. Alright, let me make this a little bit bigger where we can see what's going on. I want to move this over. Alright, there's the advanced social system. There's all the stuff that comes with it. It is now in the kit. We haven't set anything up or migrated it together. It's just in. Let's go ahead and test and make sure that the MMO kit itself by itself is working before we get started. You should remember how to do this from previous videos. We're going to have the dedicated server set. I've already created a name and it's set to 0, so let's test it real quick just to make sure. It's going to load up. Yep, ID. We're going to call this guy social test. Alright, so we know the game works. Alright, I'm going to be following the video that he has up on the forums. I think I have it open right here. Yep, and I'm just going to go over that. And then I'll merge the kit. The first goal for me will be I'm going to merge the kit itself into the MMO project and see that if we can get it to run. Even though it's using data tables, I'm going to go ahead and I want to see if they're going to work together, which I've tested earlier. I got it to work, but I had a few errors, but we're going to try to get that working. And then once we have it inside, we can start to clean it up. We're going to have to migrate it to the MySQL database and get rid of the other chat system, etc., etc. We're going to use his naming structure. We'll just follow that in the example. And so we're going to come down here into MMO, where we had our MMO. I'm just going to use an example of that. So we're going to just right click, run and make a new folder. I'm going to call it advanced, and I can't spell, social system. Okay. Move that over just a little bit so we can see. And if you see down in there, he has a blueprints folder. So we're going to go ahead and make a new folder and call it blueprints. And then down inside the blueprints folder, he has a social folder. So let's throw, I probably could just copy the folder, but I'm going to go ahead and make the folder so we get the structure. We don't really need the demo, and we'll see in a little bit if we're going to need anything at the UI. I haven't got that far. So if we need those, we know we have a place to put them. From watching the video, I know we're going to be merging all these right here, these blueprints. We're going to have to get them over, and some of them we have already that are existing. For example, we have the player character, we have a player controller, we have a player state. So we know those already exist in the MMO Kit. Let's take a look at the documentation real quick. I'll drag that over. If you go up on his site from Code Spartan, we can take a look at there. So we have it already has has a character, MMO character. There's the player character. So this tells us we have the player state and player controller. Some of the things that already exist in there we know. And it tells us what they need, what they do. And so we need to kind of have a reference to this. I'll keep that off to the side, but we definitely want to check on that. Okay, let's move that out of the way. Alright, let's bring this over just a little bit more. I will up the size of the folders just in case we can't see them on the video. Alright, the first thing he's talking about is a social player state. We need to go into the social player state and make sure we have the variables. So we're going to go over in the MMO Kit. I'm going to reduce this down just a minute. MMO Kit, we're going to go into its blueprints and see if we have a social player state. So we're going to scroll through here, and there it is, player state. So we already have an existing player state. So let's open that up. And what for these, I'm just going to drag them into the tab mark. It's going to make it easier. And let's find back into blueprint. So he has a social player state. Where it is, social player state. Open that up. And he's talking about these variables that are here on the side. And we're going to have to get all these variables into our player state. I don't know if that's going to reduce or not. Let's move that up. So essentially we'll go take a look at them. And what we're going to have to do, these are variables. They're not local. And we're going to have to create these. So the first one is social ID. I have a terrible memory, so what I'm going to do is just open Notepad real quick. That's not quite so bad. And we'll just follow his example. I'm going to type them out real quick. In fact, I'll pause the video while I type them out real quick. And there we go, we have them typed out. So we need to get those over there. Of course, we know the social name and guild name. Those are going to be just text strings, and the rest are going to be, if you look up here, are going to be integers. All right, let's jump over to MMO player state. All right, what's the first one I'm just going to grab them and copy so that I won't mess up. So first one, let's add a variable. Control V, enter. Remember up here on the wherever your details thing is, you'll have to find it. We're going to set this to an integer. You have to compile it, save it, then you're going to get your default value. Set your default value to -1. Compile it, save again. Alright, so now we have that set. Alright, and we're just going to go through the list here. So I'm going to grab guild, copy, and next one. I'm just going to go through them real quick. As you can see what I'm doing here, just copy and paste, copy, and the next variable. And I didn't click it. Come on now. There we go. Control V, paste it, enter. Then we're going to come back and edit it. Let me go ahead and set those up. I'll pause the video and I'll be right back. Alright, we got all those set up. We're going to compile them real quick. Save. I'm going to double check. I double checked one last time, make sure all my spelling was correct. It all looked good. We just need to go back. Alright, there. We're going to start with the top one. Remember, we already set that for -1. Set the next one for -1. Social name, this is going to be text, or I mean text or string. Alright, and that was left empty. I saw it in this video, so that's empty. Guild name is going to be text, so we need to set that to text. Drop down menu, alright, text. Party ID, alright, we need to set that to -1. And -1. And up here, -1. I'm just going to compile. We got one more thing to do that I have done out of sequence, but that's okay, as long as it gets done. And I took the wrong thing in the guild name. Come on now, not text. String. There we go. Alright, let's just take a quick peek. Yep. Alright, all those match up. Now we got, as you notice, they're all replicated. This is going to be for replication over the network. So we got to go back real quick and set all these to replicated. So I'm going to do that real quick. We'll just get them clicked and checked. Hopefully it all goes well here. Alright, one more. Alright, so we're going to hit that and that, compile, and save. I'm just going to type this is for me to help remember. That's the MMO player state. And look there, where'd that come from? Alright, so we can reduce that.
Where the server holds the...
Alright, the next part of the video, we want to go into the social game state. I'm just going to close these out. So we're going to go back to the Advanced Social System Blueprint Social Game State. So we're going to look for that. There's the social game state. Drag it in the tab. Essentially later on, this is where we're going to have to edit for the MySQL database. This simulates a database from what I'm reading from the video. So actually we're not going to be doing nothing with that other than he wants us to move it over. So we're going to go find social game state. As you can see, it's in the blueprint. So let's go ahead and move it down to find our advanced blueprints, social system. And we're going to move the social game state over there. So let's just drag, move here. And that way we'll clean up the folder as everything moves over. We'll get it done and get out of the way. And I'm just going to follow along with the video. And for some reason that's going to take a bit. Come on, system. There we go. And he also says to move. Alright, he also wants us to move the player state here. But if you go over into the blueprints of the MMO Kit here, you can see we already have a player state. And I know I just found it just a few minutes ago. There you go. It's called MMO player state. So we already have one existing. So we're going to have to merge those. Alright, now we're going to move the chat area and this CDQ blueprint. And we'll be dragging them down into, make sure I get the right one here. Alright, just going to drag them down here. So if we look inside of there, we should have, yep, there's the social game state, the two we just moved. Remember, we can't move the player state because we actually have one in the already existing. So we're going to have to copy that. Alright, let's see what's next. Alright, next we're going to be doing the social folder. I probably could have just did this as a folder. You can probably do that as a folder if you wish. I'm just going to go ahead and grab all these, and I apparently hit the wrong buttons. Let's try that again. There we go. And I misspelled social. So on a good note, that means I can just drag this folder here and move folder. Nice spelling sequence there. I'll pause the video while that's doing that. Alright, that's done. As you can see, it's moved the social here. There's the boo-boo soldier I made. So I'm going to right click and delete it. Let's get rid of that one. So we've moved that out of there, the social components out of there. I'm going to go ahead and do a cleanup just to check, fix for redirects. I like to do that often in case it does get boo-boos. Keep that folder structure squared away because it can go bad. Alright. So there's that and that. Social looks good. And it put it right back, didn't it? Yep. Alright, let's see what's next. He's mentioned that you did get issues when migrating this. You can watch the video too, like I am. But if you do get an issues when you're moving the social folder, he said just go down into the social folder, find the social system component, go ahead and open that, recompile it, and save, and that should clear any issues that you had with it. Alright, that's done. Let's see what's next. Alright, next on the list is going to be the player controller. So if we go down in the blueprints of the MMO Kit, here we are in the MMO Kit, we're in the blueprints, we're going to look for the player controller. Let's go ahead and open that up. I'm going to drag that tab into there, lock it down, and we're going to go back up in his, and we're going to look for the social player controller. There it is, and it locks it in the tab for us. Alright, it says that we want to add a social system component, so we're going to go over here, we're going to add component, type social system, and it's not picking it up, is it? Actually, it was picking up, I just typed on through it, so let's try it again. Social, there it is, social system component. Alright, we'll add that. Go ahead and hit and compile and save. And then we go over to class settings, add interface, social controller interface. After that's added, we want to compile and save. And you can see the new interface here where it's add 2 new functions. Just click on this one, double click. Alright, next he wants us to grab the social component. So here it is up here. We're just going to click it, left click and hold. We're going to drag it in, drag it right over top of this reference, social system reference. Let go, there's our component, and I grabbed the wrong one. I always do that. Come on now. Compile and save. Those are going to get annoying quickly. And next we're going to go into the get social state, so we just double click that one, and we're going to go back over to our the original one, the social player controller. Came with the kit, same place. We're going to go in there, just double click it, and I clicked the wrong one, didn't I? They're backwards here. There we go. Zoom out just a little bit. We're simply going to copy and paste this here. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, left click drag, and let's just grab all these right here. And then we're going to hit Control C to copy. Let's go back over to the MMO player controller. This is with the kit. Drag this, right click and hold, drag this down a little bit. Let's get us a little area right here. Left click and Control V. There we go. We're simply just going to connect this up. As you can see right here, that's all going to fill in. So we're going to go ahead and delete this one. Grab all this again, and let's just move it right on up here. Zoom in a little bit. That, and connect it up. Alright. Compile and save. Alright. Alright, now that we're done with that, we got to go back over to the social player controller. As you can see here, we have 2 variables that we're going to need to get over there. So I'm going to open back up my notepad from earlier. I probably should have put that at the top, because I'm going to confuse myself, so I'm just going to copy that. This is for my reference only. You can do this how you wish, because I'm going to forget where some of this is. So I'm just going to call it a social player controller. And actually we're moving that to the MMO player controller. And what we need to add is the HUD reference and is right mouse button down. Okay. Alright, let's go back over to player controller. I'm going to grab the first one, HUD reference, highlight, copy. We're going to add the variable. Control V, enter. We need to change this. This is not a boolean, so go to your details panel wherever it's located on your screen. Yours can be different to mine. We're going to pull this down. He says chat hub, so we're going to type chat hub layout. Okay, there we go. We'll be editing that later, obviously, from what he was talking about. The next one is right mouse button now. Okay. Variable, Control V, enter, and this is going to be set to a boolean. And the old dreaded compile and save. I was getting these errors earlier in the empty kit. Some of you guys might know what's going on here. I've contacted Code Spartan, see if he can help me. I'll chase those down. They're just warnings at the moment, so yeah. Next, we're going to go back to the social player controller. It says we're going to have to pick up the load player info. Zoom out on that. I went too far in. There's the event graph of it. Okay. Alright, so we need to open up our notepad again. We're going to need a load player info. Let's copy that. Jump back over to player controller. We're going to add a function, and that's what we're going to call it. Player info, and then we're going to, you know what, we're going to need player ID. I'm going to copy that, jump back over here, hit new, paste that, and that was an integer. Hope that didn't lose you. Okay, we're basically just copying over. So in social, we needed the player ID integer, and we loaded that up. And then down here at the bottom, we'll want to add another local variable, and it's local player ID, and that too is an integer. Alright, we need to go back to the social player controller and get the load player info. Mine's already loaded. If you didn't see it, you can just double click this again. Here, I'll close it out. Double click this again, and it should load it up. There it is at the end. So we're going to copy this. Control C. Go back over to our MMO player controller. Let's move this over just a little bit. Control V. Zoom out. And I did it again. I got that caught right on it. Zoom this back in. Alright, we're going to hook this up, and this goes to there. ID goes down one here and one over here. Alright, compile. And I've made a boo-boo, which was what happened when I was following him in his example. It's looking for the local social game state, but it can't find it. And if you go back over here, right there, there is a local social game state, and it's a variable type social game. So that's not in his video, may not have been updated recently, but we need that variable, local variable over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, and let's try that again. Get a hold of that. So we're going to come over here and make us another local variable. Control V. And that was called a social game. Okay. And variable type, drop down, and then in the search type, social Game state, I believe. Let's take a peek. Yes, I'm going by the icon. Social game state. Yep, social game state. Okay. And we should be able to now you see the errors down at the bottom here. They should all vanish now when we compile. And lo and behold, they did not. Oh, I figured this out last time. It won't compile because this was not present before we pasted and copied and pasted this. So essentially what we're going to have to do is just grab all this and delete it. We're going to compile it. There we go. So it now has that available. Hop back over here. And let's just grab this again, make sure. Control C. And let's get below it this time. And Control V. There we go. Get a hold of this and just move it right up there. And we're going to zoom in. Now we're going to hook everything back up again. And that goes there. That one over there. And let's zoom it out so you can see. And right over there. Now when we compile. There we go. That's still those two that we had earlier. Alright, now that that's done, scroll out so you can see. We want to get the rest of the event graph. You can close these out if you want. We've already brought that one in, that one in, that one in, remember? So we want to finish up on the event graph. This is what was originally with the kit. I'm just going to come over here to the side. Nice work area. Let's go back over the social player. Remember, we just moved that one, and we close those out. And we're going to move all this over. Alright, he starts with the inputs, so let's just grab those real quick. And Control C and Control V. Kind of adjust them for your liking. We're going to do a quick compile and save. Alright, that's good. Alright, go back over to the social player controller. Initialization code up here at the top. We'll just grab it. Control C. And up a little bit. And Control V. And we'll just drag that. If I can get a hold of it, come on now. Cooperate with me. Right below that. Let's see if we can just get this out of the way. There we go. A little OCD kicking in here. Alright, let's compile. Save that. And then here at the end, we didn't bring on the copy and paste. We got to finish this out. So let's bring this over a little bit. Grab off here. Type in server load player. There it is. Okay. Oops, I forgot to enter -1 for player ID. Now let's compile again and save. And that finishes up the player controller. Just want to close that out. Come on, close that out. And social. So we can get rid of the social player controller because since we already know that we've moved it over, I want to go ahead and get rid of it. And we're going to save all. Alright, next on the list is the game mode. We come down into the MMO folder. Actually has a game modes folder. We actually have 3 of them. 2 that actually have the same icon. But if you look down inside of the MMO game, it's the one that actually references our Pong class, the modular Pong class, and our MMO player state, which we edited earlier. So I'm pretty sure this is the one we're going to move to. So let's go ahead and drag that up in our tab. And then we'll go back up to the Advanced Social System, and let's open up his game mode for reference. Okay. Alright. We're going to have to copy some things here. We're going to need the delayed start, ready to start function. Alright, so we're going to go back over to MMO game. So we'll check delayed start here. There's delayed start. For player state that we migrated over, he says change it, but remember we've already did ours, MMO player state, that was existing. For game state, the one we brought in, so we should be able to click drop, there it is, social game state. And then we should be able to compile and save. Alright, the next thing we need to do is get the function ready to start match. You can see right here, it's in the functions. So remembering ready to start, we're going to go over here, functions, override, drop down, ready to start. There we go. And we simply need to jump back over to the social game mode. Double click, we're going to double click ready to start match. It's going to take us right there. Alright, we're going to pick up all this that we need right here, right there. Control C. Go back over here. Lower this down a little bit and Control V. As you can see, we don't need this. It's a dual, so I'm going to delete that. And we're just going to bring that on up. And the old lovely words of compile and save. Alright, let's go back to the social and we'll close this one out. It should be in the event graph. Yep, you're in the event graph. And we're going to we can't copy paste this, we're going to have to build it over there, he said. So what we're going to do is we're just going to grab the comments. I'm going to click it, Control C, we're going to grab that. Now here's what we're going to be setting up, the on restart player. So remember that. Come back over here. Basically the same thing, override, on player restart, on restart player. And then we'll just move down here a little bit. Control V. I don't know why I did that, and we'll just bring that on up. Alright, we're going to pull off here, and we're going to cast to the player controller. Player controller. Let's look for the MMO player controller. There we go. And then next we want to get the client load player, so we'll grab here, client load player. And compile and save. And as you can see, I forgot to hook up all the wires. Let's get them all hooked up. Now let's compile. And there we go. There we go. Once matter. Got to get all the wires hooked up. Alright, that finishes that off. Let's go ahead and close up the MMO game and the social game mode. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and let's get rid of that. We know that it's done out of here. Let's save all. Nothing needs saving. I'm going to double check the fix up for redirects. Make sure nothing's broken there. It's all good. Alright, we're down to the player and the player state. Next we're going to set up the player. Alright, as you can see here we have a player character. We'll go ahead and open that. Let's tag that up in the thing. Event begin play. Notice it has input, mouse input. So this basically looks like movement is going to determine this montage. So we're kind of looking for movement. Because if you go down here into the blueprints, we do actually have a player character. Remember we have an MMO player character, we have a modular player character. And I think we're going to want to stick this on just my character. Because if we look down inside of here, here's our mouse controls and our inputs. As you'll see in a minute. The last time I edited it, I put it in the other one, at modular player character, and that did not work well. Alright, so we're going to try to put it down in there. Alright, let's see what he says in the video. Alright, let's go down into my character. We're going to go down into a viewport. We want to add a new component. Type in widget. There it is. we're going to call it what? That will be nameplate widget. Nameplate widget. Alright. Let's move it above. He says 100. Let's see what 100. Let's go ahead and move it up just a little bit more so I want to see it for sure above his head. On space, over here on the right, user interface, where you want to drop that down and choose screen. Then for space, widget class, I'm sorry, the one we just made, which was what? Player nameplate. Where are you? Player nameplate. There we go. Alright, under that we're going to change the X to 0, change the Y to 0, and tick when off screen, and make sure that's checked. Check. Compile. Well, it's taking a while to compile. Hope I didn't break something. There we go. And save. Alright, we want to go back over to social player. Zoom out. We're going to grab this up here at the top, set nameplate reference on the event begin play. So we're going to just grab that. Control C. Go back over to my character. We were in the viewport. Let's get over to the event graph. There's the event graph. Let's put it up right there. And we'll just move that over. I'll line it up. And because we're using the same naming structure, he says we can just compile it. I did see. Let's just straighten that up a little bit of messiness. OCD. There we go. Now this should be a straight compile and save. Must be pushing the system hard. I don't know what all I got going, but it sure ain't liking it. Alright, save. Alright, let's go back over to the social player character. Let's get the events. Control C. And we'll just slide them over here to the right. That'll work. Control B. Bring it down, kind of line it up with that one. And we have to zoom in and replay that, or rebuild it. We're going to be going for the multiplayer montage. So, multiplayer montage, there it is. Alright. And compile. Seems like every one is getting slower. Come on, come on. And then save. Alright, we're going to go back to social player character. Zoom in down here. We're going to get where we need to stop the montage. When you move forward, notice this is what we're using here. When you input axis move forward, we're going to stop the montage. And he wants us to grab. Alright, not the. Did I just move that? I sure did. I'm going to grab this right here. Control C. Back over to ours. To locate it on here, I found it. Let me zoom out. See that it's in movement input, and this is going to be crowded, so we may have to make some room. There's the input axis, move forward and move right. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make some room here. So let's go ahead and grab this, move it over, and let's just stretch this box on over. And of course I didn't line it up. And there comes the OCD back in. There we go. Alright, let's see if we can move some of this over. And let's move some of this over. Alright, we're going to paste that there. Alright, this is going to be a little tricky. We're going to have to hook this up. Let's get that move over. Alright, that is going to hook up to there. This will hook up to the branch, and I grabbed the wrong one. Come on now. And the faults will hook back over to that. And the workflow. And we'll come down here. We're looking for move right. There's input axis move right. Let's go ahead and drag this over here. Control V again. Drag this up. Alright, we want green to the green. Get white to the branch. And then we want to hook the faults. Oh, let's try to move right. And let's grab the exe and right there. Alright, let's move this, clean it up a little. And the old wonderful words of compile and save. I wonder if I need to shut down and reopen. Okay, come back on and done. Alright, now that we've finished that, zoom out and come down from that. We're going to look for the section of the MMO kit that's already there. You should be able to see it. Rotate camera and then close loop container and then mouse wheel. So we'll scroll around here. Here's what we're looking for is the input axis lookup and the input axis turn. So we're going to have to make some room in here. So I just wanted to show you where it was. Let's go ahead and see if we can grab those and move them over. And let's go ahead and grab this one. You know what, we're going to bring it down just a little, and we're going to grab this one so we can stretch that out. And voila. Alright. Let's zoom on down inside. And we're going to move these over. And we want to, right here, get controller. Okay. Then it should go to the player controller. So drag the blue wire off. Player controller. We were using, remember ours is MMO player controller. Double check that. Yep. MMO player controller. And then drag off of right here. Get is right mouse button down. And we're going to move this up just a little. We want to hold B and left click and make my machine go ding ding. Go ahead and hook that up. Alright, we're going to want to connect this. Cast player controller. Move this over. Bring the target. Drag out the line here. We're going to connect it to the branch. From the branch, then we'll connect it back to our controller yaw. So I believe it's the true branch. Yep, and then true. There we go. And I'll tell you what, let's just grab these right here and let's try that again. straighten that out. Come on, come on. And we're going to straighten that out. Alright. Let's see if we can't bring all that up just a little bit. And hold shift, and let's grab these guys. Come on now. There we go. Finally got it. We're going to get us some room here, so what we're trying to do. Let's bring this up. And let's go ahead and grab these three. Control C them again. Control V them. Zoom in a little bit where you can see. Okay, so we're going to take the look up, hook it up, grab the get controller to the object. Okay. And then we'll move over, and the branch from the branch will connect the true to the pitch input. And then the old compile. And wait forever now that my system is getting slow, and save. There we go. Alright, that finishes the character. So let's close that. Close that. Do a save all. I'll stop the video while it's saving. Alright. Now we need to go down in the social system component, he said, which is down in our social folder. Remember the social folder we copied. And there's the social system component. Let's open that up. I'm going to enlarge this just a little bit. The screens I don't have open that he has open. What we're going to do is go to Window, and you want to find results. Actually, he had another one open. Probably don't need to open it, but he had compiler results. But we want find results. And we're looking for cast to social player. So we'll type in cast to social. I can't spell. There we go. And we're looking for the social player character in this one here, social emote actions. There we go. You can X that out. Alright, let's zoom down here. Alright, off the get controlled pawn, we want to cast a player, so we're looking for player. No, it's character. Let's type in character, I think. Cast to. Let me double check that. Yeah, it was to my character. And we're going to go from there. My character, we're going to cast a multiplayer sound. Multi-play sound. Okay. Basically, we're going to be replacing this one up here. So we're just going to slide it out of the way for now until we get everything hooked up. So break that up there. Okay, that's going to get messy. Hold on. So bring in a local sound. And then we'll hook this up to is valid. Then we're going to go back to cast my player. And we're going to hook that up to the valid, and that goes to the new my play sound, and we can delete the old one. Let's move that one up in its place. Then out of the character we want to get multiplay montage. Multiplay montage. we'll simply move this over here and hook in this montage. And then we delete the old one. And we can get rid of this one. Move that over just a little bit. I missed the set there. Let's make sure that's hooked up. Okay, that's hooked up. I'll go through it so you can see it on your video. See if I've missed anything. Let's move this over and make it a little more. And now we should be able to compile and save. And then once that is done, we'll be able to close that out. All right, close that out. All right, now he says we can actually test it. But before we want to test it, I just want to mention all we've done is merged the Advanced Social Kit into the MMO Kit to see if they're compatible, if they will work together. We haven't taken out any of the other aspects of the MMO Kit. Remember, it has its own chat system. It has its own window for talking, its own everything. So we haven't moved it out. We're kind of merging them together. So this is going to be prone to crash right here, but I wanted to test it, see if it would work. May not be the right way to do it, but this is the way I am doing it. And so I just want warning, this may crash your project. It crashed mine, then I loaded it back up and it went right in. So be aware, this is not a final install. This does not mean it's going to run. I just want to make sure people know that's watching the video. And you say, well, it doesn't work. It's not going to work because this is not the final product of it. All we're doing is testing it to see if the social system kit will actually run inside the MMO kit. Alright, without further ado, we're going to hit the button and see if it explodes or crashes. Alright, so there we are inside the game. As you can see, we have the window here, but we have the original window from the kit. Both of them are showing up over it, which is going to be hard to see. We're not getting the nameplate for some reason, so I could have that in the wrong place. But we have not crashed. And you can set right here, you can type guild and say, yes, I'm in the, well, you can't talk in guild. Let's see if we can yell. And of course the name's coming across, and then there, you can type in say. So we've got integration in the kit. It is not working to our advantage yet because we're going to have to do it to MySQL. And we're going to have to change some stuff around, start stripping away the stuff that we don't need. But it does work with it, so it's there. And we know that it can work with the kit. Alright, for the second video, what we're going to do is we're going to start having to move away, clean up the interface, get rid of the original chat, see how we're going to put this onto saving it as a MySQL instead of saving it locally on data. Is it data tables? We don't want to use data tables, that's locally, pretty sure. And that's the start on that part. I'm still working on the other. Any feedback on how to get it into the rest of the kit going, if you want to give me some comments, go ahead, leave them below and let me know. I'm doing the best I can, and I appreciate your feedback. Alright, this is Nemo Dane, and we'll talk with you later.